You know, you want me on your team. And so for me, it was just this sinkhole. I just kept feeding this sense of my need to get validated and get stroked. And bad went to worse, because even though I got a lot of the short-term benefits, i.e. social status, women, you know, I was a party animal, I got all the recognition, you know, got a scholarship to play ball at college and all that. There were a lot of great things, but I tell you what I ended up doing was callousing my soul in the process. I grew up with a moral compass setting that basically knew what was right and wrong. And in the process of being able to be able to get stroked, I ended up compromising so much of what was really a core and anchor to who I was. And that compromise led to what I call kind of like scar tissue on the soul. And I became hardened. On the outside, I was really, you know, a casual character, you know, off the field and all that. I was live at parties, but I'll tell you what, underneath, I had become, in a lot of ways, a slave to my passions. And I remember going out on a party Saturday night. This was my senior year at Boise State. And I remember looking at the TV, and there was a guy that was there in the stadium. It was packed out. And it was like he was sticking his finger right through the tube of my chest and said, "Sin has its pleasure for a season. Sin is fun. The Bible even states it's got a shelf life that will serve you well for a time." But he said that's the sunny side. The dark side is that surely your sin shall find you out. And what it did in my life was that sin, my self-directed existence, caught up with me, and I became a slave. And I was putting out little fires with lust, pornography, with sleeping around, with just partying, getting in fights, doing the whole thing. And frankly, I didn't have the power to stop. I just didn't have the power to stop. My mouth was just a trash can, and yet, and I would just say God was previous, because what he did was he drew me into a midweek study that they have on the football team. I grew up with enough religion that part of it, as I'm very thankful for, but part of it made me dangerous. You know, Spurgeon, the great theologian, said that Satan will give you a lake of truth if you swallow a cup of poison, that the widest entrance to hell is at the porthole of heaven. You can have enough religion to make you dangerous. And that was me. And yet, I knew that when I got an opportunity to hear about Jesus, I never had real issues with Jesus. I thought the guy, even when he was religious to me, was a stud. I mean, I just looked about the cross, and you know what? I didn't have to have a gun in my head. Even when I was a pagan, if someone would have said, you know, recant your belief in Jesus, and I'm not saying I really knew everything about him, I would have said, make my day. If I'm going to go out, this guy seems to be worth going out for. And so when I had a chance to hear about just the simplicity, I was so tired of all the chaff that I was trying to sift through when it came to faith. I just wanted something like, does God really want to make it this tough to understand what it means? And you know what he basically says that I need to do? Was help. Help. I need help. And you are the source of where true lasting help can be found, because no one had to stick a gun in my head to make me believe that I was a sinner. Sinner today is like something that's not used because of political correctness and all that. I don't know any self-aware individual that would have a hard time saying, I'm a sinner. If they are, I can help them out a little bit. It's just some hard yard counseling. But you know what? All I need to do is talk to their wife or whoever, you know, and just say, Vern, you know, you're living in self-delusion.